Mic on? Yeah, it is. Okay, right. So when you're ready, sir, if you could just start the vehicle. Well, and then a couple of revs for me, please. Few more revs if you could, please. Sorry. Okay, so here we are. We're out on the first drive in the 1997 Porsche Boxster with the owner, and he's going to tell us about how the car runs and drives. So when you're ready, sir.
Well, Porsche runs as you'd expect. Technically, everything's been thought of before you pull the roof up, the windows come down a bit, all sorts of details. Oh, why did they think of that? But they just give you a lot of confidence with the style of the gearbox, the driving. You don't have to think about a lot of things. What can I say?
So you mentioned the gearbox.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask you to give me feedback on how it feels, kind of shifting through gears. If there's any crunching or anything like that, what are your thoughts on the gearbox?
The gear shifts are beautiful. You get used to the ratios of certain hills and all sorts of things. You'll drop it into fifth gear, and there it will sit. As to where you want on a motorway. Ticks over about 3,080 for that, for instance, which is not a lot for these sort of engines. Next question.
How does the engine feel? Just underfoot, really. Like, is it responsive? Is it a bit slow? Is there any hesitation?
None of those. Everything's. Well, it's responsive. It's difficult to say, but. It goes into gears fine, it changes gear fine. And the power's there, the power is certainly there when you want it. But it can also be a docile car around the suburbs or wherever. It doesn't complain. So they get the ratios fine.
I'm glad you touched on that around town, because I mean, arguably we're in, I'm going to say Greater London, for use of a better word. Where I guess the car's spent a decent amount of time. How have you found kind of living with it day to day?
Again, it's not a hybrid in that respect. It can go around suburban roads, and you can select the right gear, and it doesn't complain. It's not. The engine temperature is rock solid wherever you go, whatever speed you go. Just above the 80 degree mark.
And how
power steering's a lovely feel with the power steering. You've got the feel with the steering. It's not light, it's not heavy.
Perfect. And how does the suspension feel? Like, we're on a bit of a questionable road now, and obviously in these lighter weight, kind of say sports cars, they can be a little bit firm. And obviously where we are in London at the moment, there's all sorts of road surfaces, all sorts of speed bumps. How's the suspension feel?
The suspension feels like a sports car. I wouldn't say it was heavy, but it's positive. And because it's such a well-built, solid car, yes, it feels stiff, but it's as it should be with a 2-ton car. It's fine, You've got the power, you've got suspension accordingly.
It's not like it doesn't knock or there's anything like that going on.
Not that I've noticed. No.
Brilliant.
No knocks.
And I think really the final question, excuse me, my voice is kind of cracked. Final question really is how do the brakes feel?
Very positive.
For anyone watching, the brakes
Again, at any speed.
stopped perfectly fine. There's no squeaks or anything like that. How's the pedal feel underfoot?
Stiff, not spongy. That's the main thing.
Exactly. Real perfect. I don't think there's anything else to ask, unless you have anything else to add.
Not off the top of my head. We've been driving for many years. Things would come up. You would notice them. And as far as I'm concerned, in that respect, because I'm an older person, and it would be picked up. I would definitely pick it up. Is it really?
Cool, brilliant. Well, I appreciate your time and thank you for that.
Thank you.